Okay, I am unsuccessful. Ah. Okay. So for today's meditation, I will begin by reading a poem. It's a rather long one, so I will only read it once. And then I'll be doing a meditation from Mark Nepo, from his book, The Book of Awakening, Have the Life You Want by Being Present to the Life You Have. And I will be reading an introduction to that meditation by him, and then going on and doing the meditation that he has suggested. So, as we begin this meditation, I invite you to sit comfortably in your chair or wherever you find yourself this morning, and closing your eyes or having them downcast but unfocused. And I invite you to scan your body from top to bottom and from bottom to top, noticing any tension that you may have there, any discomfort, acknowledging it, breathing into it, and letting it go. Allowing your body to relax and release. Allowing your mind to begin to calm. Knowing that it is in the nature of the mind to wander. When you catch yourself wandering, simply bring your attention back to the meditation. And turning your attention to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And with each exhale, allowing yourself to relax just a bit more. And this is a poem called The Call by Richard Wehrman. It's not the day on the calendar that makes the new year new. It's when the old year dies that the new year gets born. It's when the ache in your heart breaks open, when new love makes every cell in your body align. It's when your baby is born. It's when your father and mother die. It's when the new earth is discovered, and it's the ground you're standing on. The old year is all that is broken. The ash left from all those other fires you made. The new year kindles from your own spark, catches flame, and consumes all within that is old, withered, and dry. The new year breaks out when the eye sees anew, when the heart breathes open locked rooms, when your dead branches burst into blossom, when the call comes with no doubt that it is calling you. Now, this meditation by Mark Nepo is entitled Learning How to Float. And he starts it by saying, when we stop struggling, we float. When first learning how to swim, I didn't trust the deep. No matter how many reassuring voices I heard from shore, I strained and flapped to keep my chin above the surface. It exhausted me. And only when exhausted did I relax enough to immerse myself to the point that I could feel the cradle of the deep keep me afloat. I have come to understand that this is the struggle we all replay between doubt and faith. When thrust into any situation over our head, our reflex is to fight with all our might the terrible feeling that we are sinking. Yet the more we resist, the more we feel our own weight and wear ourselves out. At times like this, I remember learning to float. Mysteriously, it required letting almost all of me rest below the surface before the deep would hold me up. It seems to me almost 40 years later that the practice of finding our faith is very much like that. We need to rest enough of ourselves below the surface of things until we find ourselves upheld. This is very hard to do. But the essence of trust is believing that you will be upheld if you let go. And though we can practice resting our fears and meeting the deep, there is no real way to prepare for letting go other than just let go. Once immersed below the surface, it is not by chance that things slow down, go clear, feel weightless. Perhaps faith is nothing more than taking the risk to rest below the surface. That we can't stay there only affirms that we must choose the deep again and again in order to live fully. That we must move through the sense of sinking before being upheld is what trusting the universe is all about. And so I invite you to remember being in water over your head for the first time. Can you remember this? Can you remember learning to float, allowing the water to hold you? And if you have never been in water over your head, can you imagine this? Can you imagine having nothing for your feet to stand on? Can you imagine lifting your feet, allowing your back to sink, allowing yourself to float? Imagine this, allowing the water to hold you, knowing that the water is holding you. Allowing yourself to just breathe and be held. Weightless, safe. Your whole body being held gently, floating in the deep. And as your mind wanders, as is its nature, when you notice it wandering, bring your attention back to your body floating, your body being held by the deep. No need to struggle to stay afloat. Letting go. Where are you in over your head in your life today? What are you afraid of in the deep? What are you afraid of in this new semester, in this new year? I invite you to imagine floating, being held up by the deep, being held by the deep even though you fear, allowing the deep to hold you like a little baby, floating, held, safe. What is beneath the surface of things that can hold you up this semester, this new year? Allow this to hold you now, in this moment, and in this moment, and in this moment. Imagine yourself being held up with no effort, no struggle, just held. And as your mind wanders, as is the nature of the mind, gently bring it back to this feeling of being held, being supported, floating. I invite you to notice how simple it is to breathe as you float. No need to struggle. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Just breathe and float, resting comfortably as the universe holds you. And now moving seamlessly from your meditation back into an awareness of your surroundings. I invite you to imagine going into the remainder of your day, the remainder of your week, choosing the deep again and again, so that you may live fully, present. And if you begin to have that sense of sinking, remember that the universe is there to hold you up. And when you are ready, but only when you are ready, you may open your eyes and re-enter the world, refreshed, ready, knowing that you are supported. Does anyone have any questions or any comments, anything that you would like for me to do? Any concerns?
Gail,
Yes.
what was the name of the book that you shared?
This is from Mark Nepo, Nepo, and the book is The Book of Awakening, Having the Life You Want by Being Present to the Life You Have.
It's good. Thank you.
It's daily meditations. It's a wonderful book. Anything else? And thank you very much. I hope I will see you all again next week. Tell your friends. Have a great week.